What's up, Dragon Nation? I'm Rich with Dragon Nation Gaming. Welcome to Kerbal Space Program. I haven't played this game in a really long time, and I wasn't really planning on playing it until later. Pretty much around the time that KSP2 comes out, I was planning on playing it just to get familiarized with the controls. But I held a vote. I picked out 5 games, I put it into a poll on my channel, and yeah, about 30 some odd percent of the people chose KSP. The other two that they chose, which were actually tied, were Astroneer and 7 Days to Die. So we're going to figure out just how much time this is actually going to take me. If it's not too much, we're going to add another game and see how it all works out. I'll hold another poll, see what other games you guys might want to play. I'll drop some of the games that I put into this previous poll because they didn't do very well, like Grand Theft Auto 5 and I forgot what the other one, Rust. I was actually surprised that Rust did not do very well, but no, it didn't. So we're going to drop those games in the next poll and try to figure out what other game you guys want to see. But today we're going to be playing KSP. Those of you who have played this game before might notice that the VAB is kind of small and the launch pad is still dirt. That's because we're going to start in career, but I kind of changed things up a little bit. So if you look at the top of the screen in the middle, you'll see that we have about 500,000 credits and we have about 5,000 science. Now the thing is I like going through the career, but the science can be grindy, extremely grindy, and that it's just not fun. It turns into work, and to me that's just not fun. So we're going to be going through career mode, but without all the grind that we have to do to get all the science. We're still going to be building stuff to do all this stuff, but I wanted to get the science a little bit faster so that way it doesn't take so long for me to get videos out. And as a guy who has a full-time job, yeah, it just does not give me a whole lot of time to get stuff done, especially if I want to add another game. But yeah, we need to go ahead and get into this. I kind of have to remember how to play this game again. I do have mods. I can't remember what the mods are. Let's go into the VAB real quick. I can't remember what all mods I do have. Also, the audio and everything, we'll have to figure that all out. It might be a little bit loud, but we'll see how that goes. Oh, we start with... I must have a mod that starts with the remote tech, or remote... shit. Unmanned vessels. I didn't think I added that, but that must have been like grouped with another mod that I do have. So we have the station parts expansion Redux. Where? Oh, I won't be able to see him because we don't have all the science learned. Alright, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, we have the station parts expansion. That is a really good mod. Basically what it does is it gives you extra parts for space stations. They actually look really cool, and that's one of my favorite mods. Of course, we have KW Rocketry. You just can't play Kerbal without those. Also, my cursor, I kind of set it up. One thing you'll notice about Kerbal Space Program sometimes, if you watch a YouTuber, their cursor will be off. So I'm gonna have to wait and see how this does in editing to see if my cursor is off or not. It looks like it's okay, but we'll see. So yeah, KW Rocketry, in my opinion, that is a must for Kerbal Space Program because it gives you these engines, and the sounds for the engines are just, oh, they're beautiful. I love them. We also have KSP Interstellar. Now, I haven't done a whole lot with this mod, but I did watch Scott Manley go through an entire series with Interstellar, the mod, and it looked like it was a whole lot of fun. I always wanted to get into it, but never actually did. Then, of course, we have Kerbal Attachment System, which allows me to go into what is it called? Extra Vehicular Activity, EVA. It allows me to go into EVA so that way I can attach stuff to ships or detach them, like struts, bunch of other stuff. I haven't used that one in a while. That one has kind of changed on me. Another one that you have to have with it is KIS, which is Kerbal Inventory System, something like that. Not exactly sure. But then we also have D Magic Orbital Science, which gives you a number of extra scientific equipment so you can get that science. Like I said, we're not going to be using a whole lot, but it does help you make creative and good looking vehicles. The one I use it mostly for is the rover that I put on Mars, or Duna. And I think that's it. We do have a lot of new stuff for just the vanilla game, which is Squad. So yeah, this is the tabs where you can go ahead and just select your mods. I think in order to get that, you have to have Module Manager or something. I can't remember. But over here on the right side, this is all the vanilla stuff. And if you notice, I wasn't around when they actually added this. I haven't played this in a long time, but there are robotics in the game now, which are not actually going to show. I think it's right here. But yeah, we don't have any of it right now because we have to learn it. So first thing we need to do is there's also missions that you can get. So let's go over to the different sections of the map real quick. So this is our Space Center. This is everything that we have available for use. So over here we have our launch pad. This is where we will be launching rockets. This is mostly for the people who have never played this before. I recommend getting this game. It's fun. Then we have our runway, which is for airplanes. We have the VAB, which is the Vehicle Assembly Building. This is where we're going to be building our rockets. Right over here we have our space plane hangar. That's where we build space planes. Now the difference between those is in the space plane hangar, whatever you build lays horizontal. When you build it in the VAB, it lays, or it stands up vertically. So a little bit different. Some of the stuff that will be going into space, we will have to build the space plane hangar, especially if I want to build a shuttle. I don't know. We'll have to go over that. Mission control. This is where you can get your different missions that will help you get science, money, and stuff like that. Let's see what we have. Gather scientific data from Kerbin. So what I'm going to need is I'm going to need scientific equipment. Then I need to bring it back to Kerbin. That information back to Kerbin so that I can collect it. And achieve goal. With that, we would get 64,000 credits and 10 science. So as you can see, once we get into the higher stuff for science, it's going to take hundreds of science to get one piece of equipment. And we're only getting 10 for this mission. So you can see why I don't want to go through the grind. So we also have launch our first vessel. Escape the atmosphere. Actually, I could probably might be able to do all those in one launch. We'll have to see. And then we have one for orbiting Kerbin, but we don't have the technology yet for doing that. So right now, basically all we can do is we can get one mission. If we try to get another one, it's giving me, how many does it give me now? Oh, only 2. If we wanted to go ahead and get 3 missions, what we have to do is we have to upgrade. So if we come to mission control, we right click on it. Upgrade is going to be $75,000 or credits, which means it will, right down here, it shows you what it actually gives you. So right now, max active contracts is 2. If we upgrade, it'll give us a max active contracts of 7. And tracking station upgrade required for flight planning. Oh yeah, that's something they added to the game that I never messed with, was flight plans. Alright, we're going to go ahead and upgrade, and as you can see, the building does actually change. Now let's see if we can go ahead and grab all of these. Yep, there we go. All right, so the other thing we have is this is our tracking station. If we go into here, it will actually show us a map of the orbit of Kerbin. We can actually zoom out with the control wheel, and we can see what other planets we have in the game right now. Now, there are mods where you can add more, but I don't really mess with them too much. So the furthest one out is Eeloo. The next one is Jewel. Then we have Drez. Then we have Duna, which we're going to be landing on at some point, hopefully. Then we have Kerbin, which is the planet we start on. That's the Earth equivalent. Then we have Eve, and then we have Moho. So yeah, this is the solar system. And of course, all these planets, they do have moons as well. Kerbin, which is the Earth equivalent, does have actually 2 moons. It has the Mun, or the moon, however you want to pronounce it. And then it also has Minmus. Minmus is really easy to land on because the gravity is so low. Alright, let's go ahead and get out of that. Next one. Astronaut Complex. This is where we can hire our astronauts. Right now we have... what the hell is that hangar right next to him? I don't know. Alright, so these are the ones that we have right now. This is what we're starting out with. Of course, we have Jebediah, who is the most popular character in this game. Why? I don't know, because he's the first character you get. I think he was the only character when the game first came out. Then, of course, we have Bill, Bob, and Valentina. Oh yeah, I forgot they added females to the game some time ago. But yeah, right here, it'll show you their experience. They have courage and stupidity, which is so much fun. But then you could also upgrade them. When they do missions, they get experience, and you can upgrade them to a higher level. And I think there was something else you got. Oh yeah, each one has its own ability. As you can see, the icon that pops up when I put my cursor over him. Jebediah is a pilot. Bill is an engineer. Bob is a scientist. Valentina is a pilot. Alright, now we can go ahead and get out of that. These are the ones that I could actually hire, but you want to keep an eye on the stupidity and the courage. Alright, the next one is administration building. This is where I've never actually messed with this at all. I think this just... you can upgrade it to get more science or more money or experience. You can upgrade them once you level up. But yeah, as I said, I never really messed with this, so I don't really know how it works, so I'm not going to try to tell you how it does, because I would be wrong. Alright, so last but not least is probably the most important building in this entire game, the Research and Development Center. So this is where... holy shit. Okay, this is your tech tree. This is all the stuff that you can get in Kerbal Space Program. In order to unlock everything, you have to unlock all of these. God damn. Alright, there is a lot. There is a lot. The base game, when you first start out, it doesn't have this much. I think it actually only comes to about right here. All of this is because of all the mods that I have. This is going to be ridiculous, but watch this. If we go all the way over to the right, and we pick the one that's probably going to be the highest, will it show us? Yeah, see, this one is going to take about 25,000 science. As you see, we're not going to have that much. We only have 5. Ooh, yeah, the grind is real in this game. So what I want to do is we're going to go, I think, each episode, when we try to get a little bit of science, I'll just go one tier at a time. That will give me a little bit of time to get re-familiar with all the parts and how they work. It's good to do it slowly like that. But yeah, the first one you get is called Start. It gives you all this stuff over here, which battery, the Stay Putnik, I guess that's the Sputnik equivalent. Oh, it gives us an antenna, a fin, control, I guess we're doing... I swear I have a mod that you're supposed to start with a command capsule with one of the astronauts in it. Sorry, shit. I think they're called Kerbins? I can't remember. It's been so long since I played this. We got a battery, solid fuel booster. We have a thermometer, which is a piece of science equipment, and an antenna. So yeah, with all this, I think we will be able to actually get all but the Orbit Kerbin missions done. Unfortunately, we don't have a decoupler, so we can't separate stuff. But anyways, what's this one? Structures? Alright, so this pretty much just gives us structures so we can build stuff. Nothing that we can really use right now, but let's go ahead and research that one. So we got our first tier. Now all we do is we go to the VAB and try to build something. So what I'm going to do is we need to get out of the atmosphere of the planet. Now the atmosphere of the planet is at 70,000 meters, so 70 kilometers. I don't know if we could get there with the fuel booster that we do have. What was it again? I think it was the engines. We might be able to get out of the atmosphere with this. We'll have to see. But yeah, let me go ahead and build our first vessel and see if we can't get everything on it that we need in order to get those 3 missions. And we'll be right back. Actually, I just realized those people who have never played this game before might want to see how to actually build one of these things. Alright, so first thing you need to do is you need to start with a command pod, which the only thing we have is the Stay Putnik. Actually looks kind of cool. Almost looks like the Sputnik, but it doesn't have the antennas coming out of it. Alright, next thing we do, we'll just go down the line and see what we could add. So this is fuel tanks, which we do not have. The only engine we're going to have is that solid fuel booster. I think this thing is going to be pretty damn powerful. Yeah, and then over here we have our staging. So we need to make sure that that staging is set up the way we need it. We won't be able to see it now because we're not going to have a whole lot of stages, but once we advance in the game a little bit, we'll have a lot of those. Alright, so command and control, that's where you get your RCS thrusters and stuff like that. Structural, I don't really see anything in there that we need. Robotics, oh yeah, there's the robotics. Coupling, no decouplers, no payload. Aerodynamics, do we really... Things look kind of cool. But yeah, what you do is when you start out, you kind of start out like this. This little one right here, which says toggle snap, if you don't have that on, it'll just snap, or it just puts it anywhere you want to put it. If you toggle the snap, it'll actually connect it to stat points, making it a whole lot easier. This one right here is the symmetry mode. You could actually say how many you want. Like right here we have a symmetry of 2 items, so it'll put one, if I put it right here, it'll also put one on the opposite side. Let's actually go for 4. So there's symmetry of 3, 4, and it goes up to 6 and 8. Goes up to 8. So yeah, let's go ahead and try 4 real quick. And there it is, sorta. Now, you also have to pay attention because I think this wing will actually give you some control. Aluminum Phaeton may not be cutting edge of aerospace engineering, but it's dirt cheap and will make your rocket slightly less unstable. So yeah, I don't think this has rudders or anything, so you could actually turn the vehicle, it just keeps it stable. Alright, so we don't have, this is where you would get your landing gear. No thermals. Electrical, we got batteries, which we will need. Let's go ahead and do symmetry of 4 and we'll put them right there. Oh, we don't really have a choice. Once we get an antenna, the antenna does use power, so do the instruments or the What do we have? The science stuff. We had, yeah, just the thermometer. That will also require power. So we will need the battery since we don't have solar power at the moment. Alright, so we'll grab our antenna. Let's go ahead and break this down to symmetry of 1. Doesn't really matter where you put this. I guess right there will be fine. Alright, the science. We only need, well, you know what? There might be a few different places we could go ahead and try to get this science, so we'll go ahead and put on 4 thermometers. Just for the hell of it. Cargo, no cargo. Utility, no utilities. So no parachutes. This thing will be crashing today. We will not be recovering it. Adapters, no adapters. Control surface. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. This is our ship. Oh yeah, battery. Alright, so yeah, that's it. So yeah, we won't have a crew. This will just be firing off. The only thing we have in staging is the motor or the thruster for that solid fuel booster. In the base game, you have 2 different types of thrusters. You have liquid fuel, and then you have solid fuel. Solid fuel you can't control. You can't control the power of the thrust. You can't shut it off and then turn it back on. Liquid fuel you can. You can actually set how much thrust it has, and you can also tell it to shut down and restart it again. So once we kick this thing on, it's just full bore until it runs out of fuel. It hopefully will get us out of the atmosphere. But yeah, let's go ahead and go up here to the right, and we'll go ahead and launch this thing and see how well it works. There's our little ship. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. That thing is cute as shit. I wonder how well it's going to fly. We'll have to see. But another mod that I do have is MechJeb. So if we go up here and to the right, this is all the stuff that I can do right now. The reason I use MechJeb is for the orbit info. It gives me all the information that I need as far as the apoapse and the periapse. The apoapse is the highest point in your orbit. The periapse is the lowest point. We won't really be getting into that today, but that's stuff we will definitely get into later on. So what we need, I don't even think we need to thrust this thing up. So if we hit R, as you can see right down here, it turns on the RCS, which is the control when we get into space. And then we have T, which I cannot activate. T is SAS. That is actually computer control, which would be helpful right now, but unfortunately, I guess we can't control SAS with, yeah, this probe right here. So we're just gonna have to let it do its thing, I guess. Oh, that actually, Untitled Spacecraft has no operational SAS modules and no pilot support. So yeah, once we launch this thing, we have no control at all. Let's go ahead and give this a try. Also, if we go over here to the right hand side, this will give us our electrical charge. We have 407 of 410. It will also give us how much fuel we do have, which is 47. So what I want to do is go ahead and use log temperature. And then we're going to go ahead and send this to Kerbin. This one will actually just log the information. You'll hold on to it until you land. But since this ship is not going to be landing, we're just going to transmit that data and get the signs from it. It looks like it's going to give us about 16.8 signs. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that real quick. And as you can see, our power is going down because we use the antenna. And I think we're good to go. Alright, so yeah, we need to get outside of the atmosphere, which is 70 kilometers. So let's go ahead and see how well this works. All we got to do to hit the stage is hit spacebar. And there it goes. Well, at least it's going up straight. I have no control over this right now. No control at all. It's just doing its own thing. We just need to hope that it doesn't actually crash on our space center, because if it does, it will destroy stuff. All right, so we're not actually, if we go and hit M and we zoom into this right here, this apoapse, this will tell us our highest point, which we already hit 7,000. Yep, we didn't go very far. Oh shit, you're going the wrong way. Oh, this is gonna be bad. Yep, I have absolutely no control over this thing. It's gonna come crashing down like a missile into the VAP. No, it's actually gonna land on the landing pad and we're gonna lose the landing pad. Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna hit. So I went ahead and just skipped a little bit so you guys didn't have to sit around for too long. Yep, let's see what this destroys. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, bam. Okay, that wasn't very interesting. It didn't even make a dent. Nothing got destroyed. I think we're all good. So we did get a little bit of science, but what we can do is, can I revert? Yeah, say you have an issue with your ship, you can revert to assembly. And it will reverse the time so that way you won't lose any time and you won't lose your ship. But we got a little bit of science. Let's try that again. It didn't occur to me that I can get a little bit more science if I'm higher up. I just hope I have time to transmit that data before it actually crashes. But yeah, this you don't need to watch. We'll go ahead and skip this and then we'll try to get some more science or some more items discovered. All right, so we're in mission control, and so let's see. Active. Oh, I didn't escape the atmosphere. That's right. Archive. We did complete these two, so we got the we got 10 science of 41,000, and from this one we got 20,800 credits and 10 science. So not a whole lot, but we got a little bit. But what we want to do right now is there's nothing else we could really do unless we open up new technology. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do this entire tier right here. So Engineer 101, that will give us Shrouded Decoupler. What the hell? A decoupler that can be covered completely by a decoupler shroud. Okay. KIS for Dummies. This is from the KIS mod, which is Kerbal Inventory System. We won't be using a whole lot of that anytime soon. Utility Wrench, which comes from KAS, Kerbal Attachment System. Oh, we get our first solar panel. That right there is a solar panel. Pressure Mat Barometer. That is another science object, which will help us get science. And a Pegasus Mobility Enhancer. A ladder, pretty much. That one is going to cost us 5 science. We'll go ahead and grab that one. Aeronautics, which is for space planes and stuff like that. Ooh, I got propellers. I guess at some point I'll build a plane, even though I don't really build planes. But yeah, let's go ahead and research that. We'll go ahead and get the entire tier. Oh, these are going to be helpful when we start building planes. These are ailerons and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know if I'll actually get into that. Oh, there we go. We finally got a decoupler. And some fuel tanks. Yep, that adapter is also a fuel tank. That adapter is not. So yeah, they'll be helpful somewhat. Alright, here's some more structural stuff. What the hell is a grip strip? I'll have to research that one. And then a structural tube. That's one research. And then basic rocketry, which will give us the liquid fuel engine, which will allow us to do a little bit more stuff. And we'll go ahead and research that one. So now that we got a whole tier, this is about as far as I wanted to go as far as technology in this episode. But yeah, I guess the next thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and build ourselves another ship. One that can get outside of the atmosphere and maybe even get into orbit. So let's go ahead and get rid of this one, throw that away. Oh, I still don't have... we're going to have to do it remotely then. Well, that sucks. This thing does not have ASS or SAS. How about command and control? Nothing. Well, I guess we need to go ahead. We're not going to be able to get into orbit with this thing because we don't have SAS. We have no RCS. We have no way of controlling the vessel. So we're just going to have to do this. Just get outside of the planet's field of gravity and get that mission, and then maybe unlock some other stuff. But we'll worry about that in the next episode. Until then, make sure to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.